All right, folks, welcome back. It is me again. My name is Rodney, and we are today going to be working on another Hunter Douglas blind. Now, this one is just a wee bit different than the first one that we worked on, but these were shipped in from out of state, and we are going to do what we can to make them work. I get a lot of questions about how to fix these Hunter Douglas PowerRise, and so I'm going to use this opportunity to show y'all good fine folks out there in this glorious free country how I troubleshoot and find out where the problem is. So, we already got the battery pack out. First thing we need to do with this bad boy right there is take our old multimeter. We're going to put it on DC volts, and we is just going to reach on over here and test through this here battery. Now, it tells us that there is 8 of them in there, and when they are stacked like that, we should be getting about 12 volts or more. Here we go. Put the black on the negative and the red on the positive, and we got a whopping 3.44 volts. Now that is not near enough to turn this guy on, so that could be our only problem. And it just so happens we got some brand new batteries we are going to dump in. Put the cap back on, and let's check them again. Well, hot dang, look at that. We got 13.05. That is a fully charged power pack. Now let's put it in and see if it works. Folks, it is going to be important to make sure that that goes down all the way in. Now there's no contact, but that is spring loaded, and it needs to be in a certain spot to be sure you got power. And then up here, take a look on the inside. You will see a little metal bracket right back here by my pinky, and another little button of a metal right in here, and that is your positive and your negative. Got to make sure that they get good contact. Gonna ever so gently surgically replace this here battery. Get that down in, make sure we got contact. We are gonna take off these here rubber bands. Oh, and look at that. That rubber band was holding that guy together. He looks like he may have gotten broken in a previous repair attempt. Well, we will deal with that in a little bit. Wow, boy, that goes all the way down, doesn't it? Where's that button? And let's see what happens. Nothing. We got no power whatsoever. So let's put this accordion right back down. Oh hell. Oh hell. Oh no. Whew, that was some scary stuff, but we overcame, and now we're going to continue on. I will put this here rubber band back just temporarily, and we're going to do some checking. Guess we're taking the rubber bands off, because we need to gain access right in there. Alright folks, so the next thing we're going to do is make sure that power is getting from the battery through these little lines right here. You can see the red and the black, and they come in and they connect right here. Woo, that just grew. We are going to see what we get. We got 0 volts. So I'm going to unplug the battery. There is the battery pack, and we are going to test right here. And we got no voltage. Let's just make sure. I'm going to connect right there. And another one right there. And folks, we got nothing. It is not coming from the battery. So let's go back in time and figure it out. I'm going to reach up under here and I'm going to touch the red wire. Can you see that right down there, Mr. Cameraman? Or woman, I don't want to assume anything. You see that right there? Alright, so we're going to touch the metal there and the metal here, and we've got our 13 volts, But when I touch this end of the red wire, there, now we got 13 volts, so we just had a bad connection there for some reason. Let's double check and make sure that we are clean right there. And it looks good. So put that right there back in. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. That is what dreams are made of. Let's check it again. So if I check it right there, now we've got 13.4 volts. So we had good connections. Oh, what in the hell? Well, that could be a problem right there, folks. You see this bare wires right there? Look at that little bit of silver shining. That is some Jean-Claude Van Damme. And that is controlling the button back here. All right. Well, let's just one more time. We got 13 volts. We are gonna plug it in. And we are gonna push this here button and see what is gonna happen. Still nothing. All right, we gotta continue on. All right, folks, second step we're gonna do is test this little ribbon right here, this little 2-prong, because that is the switch that comes right back over here. Alright folks, so we've made a little bit of progress, but we ain't got it totally figured out yet. The first thing that I saw that was a problem is right here. This little circuit board, it's pretty darn important that when you install him again, he needs to be clicked all the way into his home. Because if he is not, you cannot push this button here. So we got him reset and he was working, and then what we discovered is we might got a little problem with this switchy-hoo right here. When I unplug and let it run, it'll run, but when this switch is plugged in, it seems to be cutting out. Folks, so I have been spending a couple minutes off camera trying to figure this out, and I want to show you what is happening here. This particular Hunter Douglas, what it's doing is you push the button or the remote button and it'll only go part way and then it stops. Now we figured out that the batteries were dead, and we figured out we had a bad connection over here, and so it was totally dead, but it is still stopping. Now this little switch right here is key to making it start and stop. Action. Okay, so whatever the hell I just said, we're gonna test out this here switch, and we're gonna do it like this. I unplugged it from the little motherboard, and this is the wire here you can see coming through, and that is my little dude. I'm gonna put my meter in continuity, make sure we get a beep. All right, folks, now notice the ohmage happening here. This switch needs to either be fully open or fully closed. Now you can see when I push him, it goes to OL. So he is working that way, but in order for this thing to actually work, that current has to be going through that. Now see how we got fluctuations? We got a problem right there with that switch. So we are gonna just take one out of the other one that we got here and swap-a-roo and see if we have a Fixington. Right here, I'm gonna do some testing, experimentalizing on this right here, and I'm gonna come right back to you. So folks, right there, that is the inside of that there switch, and it doesn't look bad, but I'm gonna go ahead and take this little tiny fine piece of sandpaper, and I am just gonna contact clean them contacts right there. That is about as good as I can get. Now we also got right down here, looks a little weak, but we're gonna put this back together and give it the old click test. All right, folks, so I got it right there cleaned up just a wee bit. Let's try it again. All right. That is clicking good. Let's check it again. I think we got it, folks. Look at that. No more is it giving us crappy resistance. So let's reinstall it and see if it is fixed. Alright folks, I want to show you what this is doing, because now that we've tampered with the switch, I think I see what the original symptoms were that was reported here. Now when I push the button, it only goes a little bit and it stops. Now when I click it again, it should reverse direction and it should go to the floor. And here I go, push. Now I don't know if the camera detected that, but there was just a little wheel dilly niddly biddly bit snap and it didn't go. Now when I click it again, it's going to try to come back up. But it doesn't come all the way up, and now let's see if we can catch that little snap. Yeah, it's snapping, you can't hear it. So we got the switch figured out. That was definitely a problem, and the battery pack was definitely a problem. But now we have a problem where it is not functioning fully. And I am now convinced that this is an issue with the board called the motherboard. So we're gonna grab some scalpels and some scissors and a couple of jackhammers, and we are gonna dissect this puppy and see how it ticks. Alright folks, welcome back. So I have been working on these here Hunter Douglas for a while, and we think we got it figured out. Now, you see me holding this here little wire, and what that guy is right there, he goes all up into that little limiter switch right there, and he plugs in that little spot right there, and I don't know what hole it's called, but it's called a hole, J2. Now, watch what this thing does. If I put the limiter switch hanging, and we push this here button to make it turn on, it just kind of goes a little bit and stops. And now if we put the limiter switch in, which I can't do, while I'm a filmographer and a repair guy. Hot damn. Get in that little hole. All right, now we got limiter switch in. We're gonna do it again. Now watch what happens. It still stops. Comes a little bit and goes. So we got a twofold problem here, and it took me a while to figure it out, but I had 3 of these. We fixed one. Now I'm gonna show you what the fix is. All right, folks, so if you have a Hunter Douglas, Irma frickin' Gerd. All right, we back? Okay, folks, so here is what is going on with these. Now, if you've got the Hunter Douglas with the red board, this is different than the green board, but it has the same kind of problems. Now, this one had 2. You saw me when I pushed a button, it would go a couple inches and stop. And if it tried to go up, which takes more current, it would go less than a couple inches and it would stop. Now, here is what it is. This here limiter switch is supposed to have less than 1 ohm across him to function properly. We are getting a good solid 2.1. Now, when we click it, see how we're getting weird ass readings on that right there? Now let it go over that thing. And it comes back. Now this is a bad limiter switch. Now if your blinds are trying to go up and down and they ain't, you could be having an issue with that there switch. And a problem with that there board. So first, here is what the switch, this is a brand new guy. I ordered him from DigiKey. Now if you want a freeze frame, that right there is my part that I ordered. Hopefully that don't have no personal info on that right there. Dang, right now. Don't want nobody calling me my personal house. What? Alright, so this right there is a brand new little baby limiter switch. And when we put him down, we got 0-3 and OL. And that is all it does. Now that guy is healthy. If we look at this one, we got 24, 26, 62, 60. What is going on? Well, it's bad. That's what's going on. All right, now let's get that fixed, and then I'll show you how to fix the second part. All right, folks, so there it is. That is our limiter switch right there. Now this little baby doesn't seem like it's all that important, but he is very, very important for the true function of that. Let's resolder. All right, here we go again. All right, there we go. That is what we want to see. Now, get rid of that little bad hombre. Come on over here. And we are going to have to take out that little motherboard so I can get it under the microscope and fix it. Here we go. Folks, this is really important, something to know. When you're working on a Hunter Douglas and you don't know what the hell you're doing, you will break stuff. So we need to get access to this little board, but it just so happens that this black bracket is all kind of one piece and it holds everything in at its proper spaces and whatever. And this thing, you know, it's like, what and how in the hell am I supposed to do that? Well, let me show you. You come over here and you take off that there end cap. Now, it's a bit stiff, but if you do it gently, you can get it off. Just like that. Irma stinking Gerd. Like it ain't rocket science. Now, that gives us the ability to slide that shaft, oh, just a wee bit farther. And look at that. That little motor shaft will come right out of the way. We can then... No, we can't. All right, I was high. I was wrong. But it'll give us the space we need to just ever so gently lift that up, get that out, ever so gently disconnect the motor. And look at that. Now this is the revisioned Hunter Douglas Duet. And it's a little bit different than my first video, and that's why this one was so much more difficult. Now, in the first video, you saw me fix the fuse in the wire. This time, the fuse is not in the wire. The fuse is on the board. Now, as I put that under the scope, and we just use the optical zoomage, we will see right there, somewhere. We'll find it. This little guy right there. Now on your board he is labeled F1. Now I sometimes think that they might have decided to label that FU, but instead they did F1. So when I test the fuse on my continuity, we want to hear it beep. Oh, what the hell, it's beeping. Now not only is it beeping like it's good, it's fooling you. Trust me, that sucker is bad. We are going to put another one in. Alright folks, so I have found my donor. Oh hell, where did he go? Where is my donor?
Put it under the board.
Son of a gun.
Is it under the board?
Oh, look at that, there he is. Okay, so I have right here a 0 ohm resistor that we're going to replace this fuse with because it will function the same. I got my hot tweezers and we are just going to pluck that little puppy right off the board, and we are going to pluck this little puppy right back on the board. We are going to grab some tweezers and push him gently down and melt that solder all up again. And then to make sure, oh hell, son of a gun. Alright, come on little guy. Get back to your home. You don't want to piss off the neighborhood no more. Alright, he is down. He is hard. I am just going to take a wee little touch of some brand new solder, and we are going to just stick a little bit of fresh stuff right down in here. And right there. Look at that. That is about as beautiful as the day I was born. Alright folks, let's head back, plug it in, and see if we get a difference in technological evaluation here. Folks, one more thing I have to tell you about. This is super important. I almost forgot. When you look at this board, there are some interesting things about it. Let me zoom in. Oh, come on now. How in the hell do you zoom? Okay. So, we got our new fuse right there. But I want to show you something. You got a J4 and you got a J5. Now those are both those are both motor power. They will both give 12 volts when the system is activated. This board is designed to go both ways. Some power rise will have them sitting this way, and some will go that way. When you flip this over, you'll notice that these two holes here have traces connecting to those two holes there. That is J5 and J4. They are in continuity with each other because that right there is how you get power to your motor. So don't be fooled. This is the side that's generating your power, and it connects to those on number 4, and they travel underground to number 5. Now, this little guy right here, let me flip that over so I can see it. Okay. If you're testing this outside of all of the rest of it back there, you are not going to get good readings, because this little doodad right there, Z2 and his counterpart Z1, they are critical to the function of this unit. So if you take out and you got your motor hooked up here, and you got your switch hooked up and your battery hooked up, and you turn it on, it will only work for a couple seconds. It has to be fully assembled, because if we look over here, see these little fins on the sides of that? There's 4 like a little crisscross. Those rotate through that Z2, and that is how it knows it's working. If it does not get feedback, it will turn off. So now that we know that, let's carry on. Folks, we're going to do a quick test before we put the switch in. Alright folks, welcome back yet again. Now you saw me yesterday where I finished the fuse and I finished the thing, and it still just won't go down all the way and it won't come up all the way. Now, I think I figured this one out. Let me show you something. If I got all the battery and everything, I'll move to the camera. Alright, you can see everything is hooked up just like it was when I was filming yesterday. Now, what I discovered is just goofy. Now, we know that the battery is right here, and if we touch this ring and the end of the red, we can see our 12 volts, and so we know that our batteries are good. Now, I can come over here, and if I touch J1, positive and negative, look at that, I can see my same voltage. Oh, what the hell is happening? I had my voltage, but where did it go? So this is what was pissing me off yesterday. I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't go. My voltage will be there for just a minute, and then it will disappear. Look at that, it's gone. That sucker is straight up gone like Donkey Kong. No more of that throwing barrels around no more, right? So here is what I found. On the original Hunter Douglas, this one had an inline fuse. This one does not, because the fuse is right up here. But let me show you this. Take out that battery wand. Now, that black wire, well, let's do the red one. The red one is connected and goes to that little nipple right there. Remember when an old video when we used to just stick the tip in right there and we'd measure it? Now look at this black one. That little guy is just hanging. He's not even touching nothing. So that's why it won't give me the voltage needed to power that motor all the way up and down. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to take that thing over and we are going to solder this little piece, the end of that black wire. We are going to solder that right down to that little metal bracket, and then we are going to test it again. Let's see what happens. Yep, would you look at that? It is broken. Alright, so it looks like it was connected right there. Let's see, can that little guy come out? Nope. Alright, so we are just going to put that right down there. Alright, so that is now soldered in. Nice and good. You can't really see it, but I sure can. And the way I did it was I tucked the end under just a wee bit to give it some downward pressure. And then we just soldered it right there to it. That right now is a robust connection. Let's head on over. Alright, let's see if we get our voltage on the battery terminal. What the hell? Oh, it ain't plugged in. Ha! That might make a difference right there. Gotta plug that thing in if we're gonna get some power. Alright, you just need, gonna turn you like that and plug it in. Oh my goodness. I cannot get that in the hole. Alright, there we go. And put that one right there in that hole. Alright, now, let's check again. We still don't have no damn power. Why am I not getting no power? Oh my freaking Lord. Son of a bitch. Oh my God. This thing is pissing me right off. Alright, let's look at this again. So I just had to redo this little red connector, or green, whatever it is. because these two wires just fell out. Now that was a pain in the butt. I had to get in and dig out the little connections down there and make brand new ones. So let's try this yet again. We are gonna get these sons of guns fixed whether we live or die. That is in. That is in. Let's check our voltage right here at the board. You probably want to see that, yeah? All right, here we go. We got an easy... Son of a... Oh, frick. Gotta put the battery wand back in. Don't forget that when you're taking measurements. All right, folks, here we go again. Boom, 12.45 right there, easy breezy, beautiful. It is a solid connection when I touch it. Now, we are gonna watch this trucker go up and down. All right, let's get this thing turned so you can hopefully see me. Gotta get this sucker set up now so we can watch it go up and down. All the way up and all the way down. Cut. We are gonna have to come back to this, pissing me right off.